Hi, my name is Festus Odije Rewele, and I'm excited to be here at this very new episode. I hope you have been following us. Today, we'll be looking at starting a business. Have you started one, or you're about to start one? If you have, then you need to really pay serious attention to what we'll be saying today on the do's and the don'ts when you are starting a new business. The number one thing that you need to do is to avoid borrowing. When you are starting a business new or you want to begin one, you don't need to start by borrowing to start that business. No, it's not healthy, it's not ideal. But guess what? If you must borrow, then it must have to be at a zero interest, meaning it has to come from friends, from family, from relatives who can buy into your vision, who can buy into your dream, who can buy into your idea to say, hey, you know what? This idea you got today is good and we're ready to fund it. Remember what I said about the 360 degree of business personality? Some people have ideas and they don't have money. Some people have money and they don't have ideas. So we recommended that you do a collabo. In this case, I advise that indeed you go for a collaboration with those who have money, provided there is trust and relationship in it. Because the moment you start borrowing money and there is a cost attached to it, you'll be struggling to pay or offset those costs instead of trying to put profits together to grow that business. So one of the things that cushions this effect for me is that many Nigerian banks would not even fund a greenhorn business because they know the risk that is associated with it. Now, if you solely depend on this business for survival and you're just starting this business, make sure that it's a business that has a cash conversion cycle of not more than 2 weeks. Not more than 2 weeks. Because if the cash conversion cycle is much more, the ability to be able to put profits together that will give you disposable income will be difficult. So I always tell people that are starting businesses new, especially if you are into product sales, the cash conversion cycle of that business should not be more than 2 weeks. Maximum 2 weeks. You should cash out. The cycle of life of that from purchase to earnings should not be more than 2 weeks. Are you clear with me? Now, make sure, the number 3 thing is make sure that you don't sell on credits. Some people will say, if I don't sell, who will buy? Or how will they get to know me? The truth about business is that it is only those who pay you after purchase that are the true customers. People who buy on credit are not your true customers. And who are customers? Who are those effective customers? Let's think about it. There are no new customers. I've always said this. There are no new customers. What you have are switching customers. So a customer may just be switching from one person to another, trying to see where her or his bargain is better. But if you know what you're doing and you're starting your business new, please, I recommend that you don't sell on credit. Credit, no. Credit, no. Don't sell on credit. It is only those who pay you that are your customers and that can help that business to grow. Do you also know that as a new starter or as a starter of business in a new way, a new environment, and everything about you is new, you're not trying to impress anybody. Start small with a small workforce. You don't need everybody. You don't need a HR admin. You don't need a purchasing manager. You're just starting. You don't need an engineer, a workshop. Start small. Of course, the business is small. So what I'm saying is, let the workforce be small, manageable, that whatever you're generating from that business is able to service. From there, when you make mistakes, you would learn. Aba Business School, like my friend will say, ABS, is one of the places to learn how to become an apprentice from serving a master, and then they will start to use small. so that you begin to learn from your own business mistakes. Those mistakes that you make are the experiences that you need for tomorrow's success. So, ensure that you do not carry a large workforce. You're not in competition with anybody. If there is any competition at all, I say is with yourself. So, make sure that your workforce is small, is manageable, and is the one that you can take care of. And finally, for me, is do not eat your profits. Some people behave like politicians. Sorry to say. You just started business, and the first profit that comes out of it, you're already buying a car. You are even renting a flat that you are not sure that the next business profit will be able to take care of. Like what happens where I am. When they finish doing business, I don't call them businessmen anyway, I call them traders. The profit they make, they go deploy it into renting a flat, put AC in all the rooms. Some of them will even buy a car and get a mopo to, accompany them. In the book I wrote, Money Making and Management Methods, it was completely simplified. Every starter of a business starts like a lake. And so you use tadpoles and a fishing hook to be able to rake in the tilapias. If you eat up those tilapias, what does it mean? It simply means that you will continue to use earthworms as your bait. It means you can't even graduate from a lake. But if you deploy your profits back into business as a starter, a time will come you will move from a lake into a river. And of course, what do you use? You use those tilapias that you caught in the lake to become your baits, because you are now sure that you'll be catching what? A shark. And if you eat up all the shark, again, what happens? It means you're not going to use more than the tilapias. You won't be able to move into the ocean. The ocean level is the desirable level where people want to play in the market, where they now go with trawlers instead of fishing nets or hooks, and then they begin to even use sharks as bait. This is how businesses grow. This is how businesses graduate from being small to medium and to a large scale. Next week, we'll be looking at the pitfalls. Note it. And I'm sure you don't want to miss the next week edition. The pitfalls that CEOs must avoid when they are doing businesses. Those small intangibles, those things that sometimes do not matter to many of you, that actually can mar your business. We'll be looking at them next week. Keep that channel.